I love you.
Hello? 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 So why is my speaker not working? Hello? 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 Okay. Let's just. Okay, so this is Photoshop, and I'm using Photoshop CC 2020, or just simply Photoshop 2020. Of course, there's an earlier one than this. I mean, there's a later one, which is Photoshop 2021. I'm just going to forget about the CC now. And before this, we have the 2019 version. So now, if you were to open your Photoshop CS6, if you install that and you open it, it's going to look different than this, okay? Are you with me?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah, so it's gonna look,
Yes.
yeah, good. It's gonna look different. It's not gonna look exactly this way. But beginning from 2018 or so, they brought in this start screen and this welcome screen, and I think it's good. Before now, you're just gonna get yeah, this was before. Of course, if I was to come here and go to File, New, I'm gonna get the new interface. This is the new way to create your Photoshop document. This is the old way. The only reason my Photoshop is coming up this way is because of some things I would not like to mention on live stream. Okay. So, up here, hello, yeah. So up here we have the file, the menu. We have the menu. Like I said, Macklins, welcome. Give me audio. Let me hear you. Macklin. Macklin. Macklin, give me audio. Let me hear you. Macklin isn't giving us video tonight, and we can't even hear her audio. It doesn't even show that she has audio. So. Okay, that's fine. So we have the menu here, and like I said, this is the smart screen now, and we don't used to have this smart screen. If you had installed a CC, I mean the CS6, you won't get the smart screen. All you're gonna get is a file, a new document with the canvas, and you're looking straight at the canvas. But it's good that we have this smart screen now. We can look at things that we've recently worked on, and that's good. So the way to create a new document is to come to File and select New. And we have all of these. Yeah, let me just explore these tabs for you. We have this recent one that just drops a list of recent files you've used, and basically just giving you the file size, and maybe if you give it a name, but I didn't give any of my recent documents a name. I've used A4 recently. So this, yeah, in your newly installed Photoshop, you're not going to get this part, so that's fine. You're not going to get anything here, but you can come to Save, and here it's empty because I didn't save anything. I think over the course of this class, we're going to save that so we can have something here. Let's go to Photo. Of course, if you want to edit photos, probably you want to come here and select the size of the photo. Of course, most time what you're going to do as a photographer is to just open the photo itself, and then it comes with its own shape. So let's go to Print, which is where, as graphic designers, we're going to spend most of our lifetime working. So we have some of these that you can really import into your work. The Photoshop you downloaded from me will probably not be able to go online, but if you're using the paid version, you can easily go online and bring some of these presets in. But for us, we're going to be using this ones. So you need to click this View All. and that's going to give you all of this. So we have more. We have more now. Let me just run through this preset. We have the letter size. All of these are sizes. See, I'm selected, and the letter size, the international letter size is 8.5 by 11, and I'm working with inches right now. So I'm working with inches right now. We can change that to pixels, and you can see that inches has been converted to pixels here. So we have this 2550 by 330.
Chidi, please go and give me water in the cup.
And so I like to work in inches. You could work in centimeters, and this is measured in real centimeters. You could work in millimeters. This is measured in real millimeters. You could work in point, which is a function of the font, a font size, or in picas, which is also a function of the font size. But I like to work in inches, and the reason is that I'm able to move as I will. If I was working in centimeters, for example, by the time we begin to work, things begin to snap to centimeters, and I don't like that. Inches doesn't snap as much, so I like that freedom to be able to move how I want. Obviously, if you're working and you want to, work for the web, you should work in pixels so you can be pixel perfect or precise. But right now, we're going to spend the first 3 days of this class working with print. So we're going to be working in inches. And I said letter is the international standard. That's basically your paper, your international paper. This is another paper called ledger. Now, this paper folded into two is the size. I mean, let me just say this paper is basically the size of your notebook if you spread it out. If you take a standard notebook, I'm not talking about the higher education now, just the standard notebook, your 40 leaves, 50 leaves. Now, if you were to open it up, now the open version of it, this is the size, ledger, sorry, that's the size. Tabloid is the size for your magazines, your print magazines, your actual magazines, that's the size. This is the size, tabloid, and it's a portrait size, as you can see. Ledger is by default, like I said, in notebook, ledger will come as horizontal size. A4, which is where we're going to be working with today, is our standard A4. You can see the size. Let me go to inches here. The size is 8.268 by 11.693. The Nigerian A4 is a bit smaller than this, but you can work in this and then in print, after print, or shall I just say post print, you then take it to the person who's going to trim things for you, and you trim it down to the size you want. Also, we have A6. Let me just explain something in sizes. We have all of the sizes, we have them here. I just want to explain how sizes are generated in, at least in the Nigerian space. Now, the Nigerian space, our size starts at A0. And A0 is like your paper, the paper as it comes. It's really large. Then it's very, very large. Let me see if I can get the A0. Binga, please turn off your audio. All the noise tells me you are in class, so it's good. So A0 size, I'm just going to share my web screen, my Chrome screen a little here, so you can see the size. As a matter of fact, let me just share screen. So whatever screen I go to, you see. So the A0, I want to talk about the sizes we have in design, and which is the the sizes we have in print, the sizes you're going to be working with. The largest size of paper, at least by Nigerian standard and international standard, is A0. And in inches, that's 33 inches by 46 inches, or whatever all of these other fractions amount to. So it's really, really large. That's the paper size we have. And if you've ever seen, worked around printing before, you've been to printing press, then you know you probably are familiar with this size. but the one you probably would be most familiar with is the A1. Now, here's how it works. When you divide A0 into half, or basically fold it into two, you get A1. That is from the vertical direction, you fold it into two laterally. Is it laterally or bilaterally? Whatever. So let me just use this image to explain it to us. Let me bring it up to the side here. Oh, it's really small. I wish it was bigger, but just look at this image. My mouse is over in here. So this is A0. If you break that into half, you get A1. Can everyone see my screen? Is there anybody that's lost? Macklin, can you see my screen? Huh? Okay, good. So if you break the A0 size into half, you get the A1. If you break A1 into half, you get the A2. The A1 is the large calendar we often presented with. If you've been presented with a large calendar that when you hand, it takes a lot of space on your wall, that's the A1. The A2 is the standard calendar we are familiar with. A2 is the standard calendar in our houses, the one that is common. That's A2. A3 is the size of the poster. If you've seen campaign posters, just normal campaign posters or posters for advertising any kind of work. So the standard poster, the one that is visible, that's A3. And A3 is dividing A2 into half. So that's the way it goes, really. Now, if you divide A3 itself into half, you get A4. If you divide A4 into half, A4 is our standard paper. Let me see if I think I got A4 around my house somewhere. Let me see if I can do that. I'm just going to bring up your standard bond paper, really. If this were a print workshop, then I'll talk about all the papers. I'm just going to share. I'm going to give you video a little bit to show you A4. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to give video. So I'm not. This is your A4 size. I'm going to move back. So this is the standard A4 paper. Now, I'm not dressed, so I'm not going to show you my body. If you were to fold this into two this way, like so, okay? We fold this way. Now, what you got is now A5, okay? So now you have A5, and this is the size of your flyer. Most often, most flyers don't come this way. Of course, some people could make their flyers this big. As a matter of fact, I consider a flyer this big just another poster, really. But then this is the kind size of flyer you have mostly, the one that you can hold, the one that you've been given. This is A5, okay? If you fold this A5 in half again, notice the direction I'm folding in. This is A5, you fold it this way. From the landscape, fold it. You fold A5 this way, you get A6, okay? And this is the size of your, maybe you've been given, if you've gone to events and you get tags, event tags and the likes. This is the size of event tags mostly. So this is A6. If you fold A6 further, right? You fold A6 further, what you get is a big size business card. Okay? So this is a big size. This is not the standard business card. The standard business card is you can say 3.5 by 2. That's a large a bit, but it's usually around 3.26 something by 2. But this still goes as a business card. Okay? So again, from A0 to A0 divided by half, or A0 times half gives you A1. A1 times half gives you A2. A2 times half gives you A3. A3 times half, A4. A4 times half, A5. A5 times half, A6, and so on and so forth. So that's the way size works. Now I'm going to go off my video. Okay, so we go back to Photoshop right now. Wait, am I still streaming? I think I stopped streaming. Oh, come on, stop wasting my data. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're back in Photoshop. Can everybody see my Photoshop? Macklin, can you see my Photoshop? Okay, good. So now you understand when you see this A6, A5, and all that, you know, you can visually understand that now. Yeah, I was saying that tabloid is the size of your magazines. I have something close to tabloid there, so I'm just going to show us that too. So what I have here is close to tabloid. It's a large policy document when I did some insurance policy back then. Okay, so today let's work with A4. So if your Photoshop is on, just go with me. Select A4. Again, I said I like to work in inches, so I'm gonna select inches here. I see it seems Macklin is working with me, so I'm just gonna slow down so she catches up. So Macklin, when you're ready to move, always give me a thumbs up so I know you're good, okay? All right. So we're going to name this maybe TLC GD First PS class. PS is the short for Photoshop. So you see where I've typed the name. I think we lost Benga. Hopefully he'll make it back. I think probably it's his network or something. Okay, so let me just explain things to the side here a little bit. Okay, so here we have resolution. First, let me explain what this is. Okay, so you're just taking notes then. Huh? Since you're unable to download it, are you just taking notes? Macklin? All right, okay. So right here, we have the orientation. Basically, let me just share video a little bit. If it's standing this way, it is portrait. If it's this way, it is landscape. Okay, so good. Awesome. So right now we're going to use portrait for this design. The resolution is 300. Now, if you're printing your work, okay, let me see if I'm still recording. So people who are not here will catch it. Okay, good. So if you're printing your work, you want to work with 300 resolution, okay? That's sharp and crisp. But if you're not going to print your work, if you're just designing for screen or you're designing for the web, then 72 is enough for what you want to do, okay? So 72 is good. But I'm going to assume we want to print this, so I'm just going to do 300. And okay, good. The color mode we're going to use now, give me audio, please. From what we've discussed, we are printing this. What color mode should we use? What color space should we be working with? Since we're printing it, what color space should we work with?
The RGB.
That should be the, no, it's not the.
I'm going to drop this to help you. So which one here? I've got bitmap, grayscale, RGB, CMYK. So which is it?
RGB.
The RGB.
It's not the RGB.
CMYK.
The other one.
CMYK. All
Yes,
right.
CMYK. Yes.
Once you're printing, you work with
Since
CMYK.
you're printing, okay? Yes,
CMYK. That is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. K is for black for some reason. I don't know. That's the way it is. Okay, so to create it, we simply click on create. And that brings us here. By the way, if you have just installed your Photoshop, you will not have your screen looking like mine. So I'm just going to reset this screen so you know what this will look like. I'll get that 10 minutes running again. It's fine. We're just going to come back. That's fine. So I'm going to go to Windows here, go to Workspace, and I'm going to go to Essential. Good. if you were to install, yeah, I don't know what this one is doing here. I don't need it. Thank you. So if you were to install your Photoshop afresh, this is what you get. Okay. So this is the way Photoshop comes when you install it fresh. And but the thing is this, you can always move this around. And I think in my first video, I showed us how to do all this moving around, right? Did you watch the video, Marklin?
No, 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 no.
So you should go watch those videos. I've showed us how to move things around. But yeah, quickly, I'm just going to tell we don't need this lens. So we right click. You need to right click on that lens and close that. Okay, so I want my layers on this side. So what you do is, let me just go back and show you how that works. You need to click on this part where the name is, okay? You need to click that and drag that. See that blue line? You want to make sure that that blue line is showing. As a matter of fact, you can put this anywhere you want, really. So you can put it here, you can bring it here. There you go. But I want it on this side. And everything that goes with the layer, channel goes with layer. So I want channel. Now, I'm not going to put it here. I'm going to put it here so that I've got that blue going on there. I drop that, come to parts. I'm going to put it next to it. I drop that. So I always have my layer here. And then I do other things. So you can move other things too. If you don't need a particular, if you don't need something. So yeah, I was talking about the colorway, guys. This is the colorway right here, by the way. So yeah, I was talking about the color wheel, and I said opposite colors are complementary. So this color and this color will complement each other to use it in your work. Awesome. Okay, so we have the swatches, gradient patterns. Awesome. Now I like my properties to come up here and join these guys and probably just be the first thing. And my adjustment layers, I don't use it as much, so I probably could just lose it. Okay. And the way to move things around is this way. That's fine. So you should go watch that video so we don't spend a lot of time talking about what is and what's not. And this up here below the menu, I said this is the menu, right? So below the menu, we have the status bar. So whenever I said go to the status bar and do this, that's it. Again, your Photoshop will not have this auto select checked this way. But what I want you to do is come here and select that. Okay. So you have that auto select. But right now you may decide not to select it so you can see what happens if you don't select it. But I have that auto select. But I'm just going to deselect it for now. And I'm going to go back to my workspace and just go to teaching so I get this again. I can select this small icon here to get from iconic mode. This is iconic mode and this expanded mode. So I'm just going to stay in expanded mode for now. Okay, so my layers are to the side. Let me just explain a little bit. Photoshop is all about layers and layers, and I think that's the daunting part of it. That's the part that gets people scared. But you don't have to be. It's really simple. Here's how it works. Here we have the tools, the toolbar. Pretty much a two column here, really. If you think about it. And I can give it, I can expand it and it gives me this double column, but I like to leave it here, this single column. And up here we have the move tool. I've overlaid it so you can see that demonstration from Adobe. You can see it says move tool there. Down here is the marquee. We have the rectangular marquee. We've got the magnetic lasso tool and so on and so forth. You should watch the video, okay? So that I've explained this one there. Any tool that has this little bit of icon, you know what? I think I am going to make my screen a bit larger so we can see it. Hold on. I'm just going to go ahead and make my screen a bit larger so we can see things clearly. Hold on a little bit. Uh-oh, I don't know why this is happening. I don't need that. Okay, so I'm just going to make my screen at 125. Yeah. So that's gonna make Photoshop a little larger and everything is actually a little larger. Okay, so I think my screen is better to see now, right? You can see things better, right? Give me some feedback. Can you see things better? Okay, so good. So when you have this little thing at the bottom of a tool, it means that that tool has other tools. So to bring it up, you need to left click and hold, or you simply just right click. And you see there are more. Actually, there are more to that. So if you right click, you're gonna get all that. There's also more to this tool. And if you right click, so the way to bring it up is to right click. And I think these days, pretty much every tool here has more to it except this one. So there are short codes, and we'll learn these short codes as we go on. I'm just gonna move my layers thing. I'm gonna press Ctrl 0 on my keyboard and Ctrl minus just to zoom out a bit, Ctrl plus to zoom in. Awesome. I think I want to minimize this, so I don't, yeah, I think I want to minimize stuff. Okay, so let's design a simple flyer, okay? Probably a simple mobile phone advertising and all that. So I want us to go online and get resources. We've talked about the places where we can get images for free. So let's go to freepik.com and download my OBS, but I couldn't figure it out before last time. So we go to freepik.com. Let's just go to smartphones. And I want just pictures, okay? Photos. I also want it to be PNG, hopefully. Hopefully I can get that. Yeah, this one's ain't gonna give me what I want. So I'm doing it this way so we can see a typical workflow. I also know how to select resources. Yeah, I think we can use this lady. Okay. It's free. All right. I'm gonna download the Medium file because I don't want what I'm working on to be too heavy. I'm waiting for that to download. Yep. Okay. I don't need this. I don't know why my ex is giving me all this warning. What I'm doing. So just because I've kind of adjusted my resolution a lot of space. Maybe let's pick this one. So I have less than a minute, so I'm gonna just go off right now and send us a new link very, very